Connor, I want to write about the offensive line. They're playing very well. You don't put up the type of offensive numbers the Navy is putting up so far this season without the line doing its job. Can you talk about how proud you are of the unit?
I'm absolutely super proud of everybody that's been playing and all the guys that have been working that haven't been playing as well. I think we've improved dramatically since the beginning of fall camp, and just even as the games have gone on, we've gotten better every week. We've been playing harder, just working better as a team every week, and I look forward to see what we can do the rest of the year as well.
So Coach Cronick's been everybody's been very praiseworthy of the offensive line. Coach Newberry, Coach Cronick, I'm sure you may hear from Coach Guillermo here shortly. What do you think is going well? Is it just somehow come together?
I think a lot of us have that kind of connection. Like me and Ben Purvis, we don't even have to really talk out there because we just know what each other's going to do during the play, and I think it's the same way with the rest of the guys on the offensive line. We just have such a strong connection on and off the field that we have extreme trust with each other, and I think that's the key with why we're blocking so good right now.
I would say that I was surprised because it's a new offense, a new system. Coach Cronick's come in and installed different style of blocking. I mean, you're not coming off the ball so much all the time because you do more pass protection. How is it that you all have picked this new offense up so well that you're executing the schemes? And I know he sometimes says he wants to make it simple so that you all can play fast. Is that part of it?
I mean, there's parts that are simple and there's parts that are complex, but I think a lot of it just goes down to how we're coached. I think Coach G has done a great job this whole season. Just even when we are doing good, just hyper focusing on the extremely small details that we're messing up. But it's just I think it just comes down to coaching and all of us just wanting to get better every single day we come out here.
So for previous years when Navy's offense did not perform at a high level, the offensive line received some criticism. 3 of you are returning starters. Why is the unit operating at such a higher level? Same personnel. It's clicking.
I think it definitely is clicking. Like I said, I think this is the closest our team has been on the offensive line. I mean, we've had close teams in the past, but I mean, we all love each other. We're all like best friends in the locker room. I think it's just our trust with each other and our want to win is so much greater this year than it's been in the past. It's excelled us to that next level this year.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but have you and Brent and Javan, did you go to prep school together? Have you been together now 5 years?
So I'm actually a direct. I'm one of the odd men out in the group, but we've been super close since plebe year. We hang out outside of football all the time, and we're all a bunch of really good friends. So, yeah. So,
in terms of the blocking that's required in this offense, how would you say it's different from the triple without giving away Steve State's secrets? What's different?
It's just a lot more zone stuff rather than the triple. I mean, we're still running the triple, just not nearly as much as we have in the past. So it's more of just seeing how the defense reacts and then making those holes based off what the defense does, rather than just playing right down, running it right down their throats every play.
So as a veteran guy, I think you're the position captain, right?
Yes.
How much responsibility do you feel to lead the unit? And I know you've got 2 other seniors out there with you, but in a lot of the coaching staff has put you in this position captain role to have an influence.
Yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely honored to be the position captain of this group, but there's definitely a lot of pressure to keep the guys going because there's definitely some hard days out here where some people just don't feel like doing a hard practice after taking a super hard test out in Bancroft, but it really helps having all these seniors in my class they're all a bunch of leaders as well, and it just takes a load off my shoulders.
And can you talk about then trying to incorporate some younger guys like Cam Nichols gets thrust in the lineup? He's a younger guy, but you got to bring him up to the level that you all are at.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cam's definitely the youngest guy playing right now, and we're really focusing on him this week because he has a ton of potential, and I think he could be a really good player for us. But we just have to keep building confidence with him and just get him more comfortable in this Navy offense.
Javan, I'm writing about the offensive line. There's been a lot of praise from the coaching staff. Coach Newberry, Coach Cronick. I'm sure when I talk to Coach Guillermo, he's going to talk about how proud he is. How great does it feel to be the engine of an offense that's really humming on all cylinders?
This is a blessed opportunity that we have. We know every game depends on us, and if we get our job up front correct, we know that everything's going to flow, but we also have playmakers that's making plays sometimes, but we got to start the play. We got to make the plays happen. So this has been a bless for these first 5 games. It's explosive plays, dominating the line of scrimmage. It's just a great time with the guys. So.
What I was going to ask you, I mean, so we know this is a great scheme. Coach Cronick has brought a really high-powered offense. It's worked everywhere. As you mentioned, playmakers in Texa, Heidenreich, Chapman, Nathan Kent. That almost puts pressure on the line. don't mess this up. This is going to work if you all make the blocks.
It does make pressure because, you know, if you make that block, they're going to take it to the house because we got speed on all facets of our offense. And it's just a blessing to know that if we just get our blocks, we get our feed, we get our this movement on the line, that we could bust a run from anywhere on the field. And it's just been great to just see that in these first 5 games.
In your opinion, why is the offensive line performing at such a high level?
First, I think it's just experience. Just returning 4 of our 5 starters from last year, and just having people that have been in a game experience. You really don't know how a game is till you played, and us having that experience and then carrying that to the off-season training, and then just buying into what Coach G's been telling us and going in and doing extra work in the summer. It's just all translated to just how we are performing on the field and just playing harder than anybody, because we know that's our edge, because we know we're not going to be the biggest, we're not going to be the strongest, but if we play harder, we're going to wear teams out, and that's what we've been doing these first 5 games.
So talk about the chemistry, because you, Brent, and Connor have been together since plebe year. You've come up through the pro. I know you're very close, these 3 seniors in particular. Can you talk about how that impacts chemistry?
I mean, just knowing that you have someone that's been with you for, till the end. I mean, me and Brent, we would go back from Naps. We were like almost roommates at Naps. We were in the same company, same platoon at Naps. So I've been boys with him, and me and Connor, we're in the same major. So I'm asking him for work. He's a little bit smarter than me, but yeah, I've been just locking in with him in classes and stuff. And I mean, those 2 are just great leaders on our O-line, just keeping everyone to the standard, and I try to follow and be like them each day.
So, you know, when you lose a guy like Trey, who's another veteran guy, which sucked, but now you got to get Cam Nichols up to the level where you all, I mean, you can't have a weak link. You're next to him. You kind of have to work in tandem with him. Can you talk about the responsibility you felt to make sure Cam Nichols got up to speed?
I treat Cam like he's my little brother. He just reminds me of me when I was a sophomore and I was getting reps. I really had no idea what was going on, and I was just praying that I would go the right way sometimes. But he's been adjusting. I mean, he had a great Memphis game. His first start, he just came off the ball, and I told him, just don't think. Just go out there and play. I've been playing. It's a game we've been playing since we've been kids, and we love it. And just don't go out there and think. If the coaches yell at you, take it, but just move on to the next play. And I think Cam's been adjusting great for just getting thrown into a position. He knew during the fall camp that he had a chance of playing, and we know that the O-line is unfortunately have some injuries here in recent years, me being one of them last year. But we know that we have guys that we could just plug and play, and I think Cam's doing a great job of just adjusting in that role.
So, I mean, this is, like you mentioned, 4 returning starters, but last year the offense was not as successful. Line under came some criticism for not opening holes, creating. Why is it so much better in your opinion?
I feel like we're just believing in the O-line that I remember we're just saying for like our senior year, like this is our legacy, like this season, and a lot of us are just returning starters, and we've been used to playing, and we know how these teams play, and we're just going out there and we want to win. We want to create a legacy and people to remember our senior class, and we know that our 3 years haven't gone the way that we wanted them, obviously, by losing seasons, but we know that based off the way the season starts, if we keep progressing, we could catch all the goals we want. So,
why is this line playing so well?
I think, you know, we've been really close this year. You know, we did a lot together over the summer. You know, we got 3 seniors. We've been through a lot together. And I think it just means a little bit more to us this year. And like Ben Purvis Jr., been through a lot with him. Cam as a sophomore. I think it's just those experiences in the previous years has kind of brought us together.
So last year the line was part of, you know, it got some criticism for its part in the fact that the offense underperformed. Was there a determination? I mean, how much did you want to prove yourselves and that wasn't you, and then now look at this?
Yes, sir. I think less of it was to prove to other people and more to prove to our teammates we know our teammates were playing at a certain level, and we felt like we were playing below their level, below the standard, and it was more of doing it for them rather than the outside noise.
So, new offense. A lot of people would think that the line would struggle because you're learning new schemes, new techniques, new blocking patterns and all whatnot. Why has you all gotten so good in this new offense so fast?
Yeah, I think the Coach Guillermo and you know, the coaches have been here for a while. Coach J. Matt, Coach Jasper have done a good job working together to make that transition really easy for us. Try to use similar verbiage and everything. Just try to make it easier for the older guys who have been here in a different system for 3 years. I think that's really eased the process. And I think just kind of what you're saying earlier, the determination. I mean, you know, for 3 of us, it's our last chance this year. So getting in the playbooks even more coming on the weekends, watching film, going through steps together.
So in the UAB game, on that bubble screen, Purvis
sir.
gets out and has this massive block. I see his parents have created a T-shirt that says "The Block," number 64. First of all, what was it like in the meeting room after that game when that play got shown?
Yeah, I think it was pretty awesome. I mean, we saw it on ESPN and everything as soon as we got in the locker room. I mean, it was the talk, in the locker room, on the bus, on the plane, getting posted everywhere on Instagram and Twitter. It was pretty awesome.
I mean, is that just something an offensive lineman lives for?
Yes, sir. I mean, that's a dream block right there.
That's what I thought.
Yes, sir.
You have been with Javan since prep school.
Yes, sir.
With McMahon since plebe year. How tight are the three of you?
We're pretty tight. I mean, we're together almost every weekend. We're going out, getting dinner, watching other football games when we can together. We're pretty tight.
So you mentioned Coach Guillermo. How much of a factor has he been in the improvement of this line? I mean, he loves you guys, but he coaches you hard. He doesn't accept, anything but a top tier performance. How big of a factor do you think he is in the offensive line's improvement?
I mean, I think it's huge. I think it's everything. It's besides playing for your teammates, you also want to play for your coaches. And when you have someone who cares for you and pours into you, it makes it a lot easier to go out there and leave it all on the field.
Well, we're here with Navy offensive line coach Jay Guillermo. Jay, the line is performing at a high level. Coach Cronick has talked about it. Coach Newberry has talked about it. You do not put up the type of offensive numbers Navy's putting up this season without the line doing its job. How proud are you?
Yeah, extremely proud of those guys because they're bought into what we're doing, and they get coached hard, and I don't think they're ever satisfied. Even though we're having success, they don't necessarily take the score into account. It's how personally are they doing, and how are they performing, and how are we performing as a unit, and that's what makes those kids special. And so they're bought into what we're doing, they're bought into what we're teaching, and they care for each other. And so I don't know if I've ever been prouder of a group than this group because, the people that we play usually have a physical, up on us, and these kids are just playing so hard, man. It's a lot of fun to coach.
So talk about the challenge you faced having to teach these linemen an entirely new scheme, and it's different. What Coach Cronick's doing is different. He told me that it was probably most difficult for the linemen to learn his offense and how to operate than for any other position. Can you talk about the challenge you faced trying to get these guys ready to go?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's always technique over scheme in offensive line play, and for it to be such a difference is so hard because everything was just here, and you get into zone and it's all right, boys. We're not just piercing the line of scrimmage now. We've got to hold on, and so it's a challenge, but it's really just doing the same things over and over and over again. And so the biggest challenge is not necessarily with myself of how to teach it, but it's those guys not getting bored with doing the same thing over and over and over. And I don't think they have. And so, it was a good challenge. And, we do a lot of things offensively. And I think Coach Cronick's done a really, really nice job of blending things to where we're not having to think and can go play and work, these different schemes and be able to take not a lot of indie time, but get a lot of things out of it, know. And so it was a challenge for sure. But once again, whenever you got kids like this that are bought in and that care, and I mean, a kid like Ben Purvis that's over here, and I'm having to talk him off the ledge, because he's so upset that he's not getting it right, and usually you're having to push kids to go, and with him, you're like, hey man, you're doing a fine job, that's awesome. And so it was a challenge for sure, but with these kids, man, it made it a lot easier.
So, I mean, a lot of people are surprised because for the last few seasons when Navy was underperforming offensively, the line was taking heat and getting criticism. And last year, the offense averaged 18 points and and the line, people were saying, well, the line's not creating any holes. There's nowhere to run. How has this line made such a dramatic improvement? 4 of the guys are the same returning starters.
Yeah, I mean, I think just them being bought into what we're doing. Once again, the simplicity of it, of week to week there being carryover. But 2, I mean, you can't say that it's all on us. Are they performing well? Sure. Are there a lot of things we can get better at? Absolutely. But man, we've got some kids on the outside that are playing their tails off now. You've got a quarterback in Blake that's just playing out of his mind, and so whenever you get that from the outside, it makes it a little bit easier for us to have confidence to know that they're going to do their jobs and they're going to create some things and create some
give 'em
mismatches
a
for some
chance.
people. Right. And so, I think our guys are doing well, but it also goes into everyone around us and us playing as a team. Like, I think that's a big thing too, is you see all 11 guys doing their job and doing it hard. And so then that makes everyone look better, right? So not to undermine the offensive line, but it's not just us. It's everyone, all 11 on the field at the same time doing their job.
So you got 3 seniors and Purvis, a guy with a lot of experience, game experience. You got to try to fit Cam Nichols in without having a drop off, and that's what's happened, losing Trey. But Cam has come in. How proud of you are that he has not let the standards slip for the whole unit?
Man, that kid takes more heat in practice than anyone else. And, I've been on his tail. Actually, it's funny you asked that, because I told him today, man, had a little breakthrough today, which is a really positive breakthrough, and him just showing emotion. And, man, that kid just comes to work, and he does what you ask. And he does it with such an intensity because he wants to do well so bad. And so incredibly proud of him and how the whole group has really just brought him in. And, guys like Purvis that over on the side, if the 2s are in, I'll see him coaching him up, and even Javan doing that. And so those guys taking ownership of it and really proud of all of them. But, man, Cam's a special kid because he doesn't say a whole lot, doesn't talk very loud, but, he's not – whenever pretty much your first start – is against Memphis.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of guys would, I know I would, man. I'd be worried about this or this and be nervous. And he just went in and said, all right, let's get it done. Let's not be afraid of failure, and let's go. And that's what he did.
So is there anyone in particular or a couple guys that are really grading out high every week?
Connor, Purvis, Brent. It's funny, let's see, UAB, I think I gave Connor the highest grade. No, gave Purvis the highest grade I've ever given an offensive lineman. So, and I'm a hard grader. They always joke, nothing's ever good enough. We can come out here and have a great day, and it's never good enough. That's how it is. We're the mushroom crew in the O-line as we speak. But, I gave him a pretty high grade, and but those 3, man, have really been consistent. And it's Javan, considering moving to guard from tackle, and he's really a guard.
Right, he's coming off an injury.
Exactly, and he's been grading out well, and Cam, for where he's at, I mean, the guys have been doing a good job, and I've been trying to find little things to, kind of critique them on more, just to, oh my God, they can't have this good of a grade, and but those guys have been doing a really good job.
So as a former offensive lineman yourself, I just talked to Brent Self, the block that Purvis made on the bubble screen against UAB. Brent called it a dream block for an offensive lineman. Does he get like a helmet sticker or a special gold star?
Oh yeah, so he got a defensive award the other day. So it's the hit stick award, and it's never gone to an offensive player before. It's a bat that you sign your name on.
Oh, that's cool.
And Coach Volker gave him that, and he got the hit stick award. So
that's great.
And in our grading system, we got zeros in MA, 1, 2, 3, 4. No one ever gets 4s. They never ever get 1. And he got a 4 in the grading system, which they all went nuts about, because we come in on Monday and they're, did he get a 4? I'm like, yeah, he got 1. So yeah, he got some pats on the back, got some awards for it.
So you've already had to try to, your depth has been tested with Trey going down. Mm-hmm. How do you feel you're doing behind these guys we're mentioning? Because you never know when somebody might have to step into the lineup, or you feel like the Hoke Smiths, or I don't know who else, Creedon Folger. You feel like you got guys behind these starters that are starting to get to the point where you trust them? Yeah,
and that's what I think about a bye week, is it allows you to get those guys more reps. And then having as many as we have, I've never had, I guess really 3 bye weeks in a season, and so being on our second one so far, those guys, because some of the older guys that have played a lot of snaps, you maybe take a little bit off of them. And which means the next guy up is going to get more reps. And with the ones, they're going against our starting D-line, and that's big for, guys like Hope that's going at center and at guard. Guy for Caden Hooper that's really starting to come along at tackle. For Grayson Crawford, and then even for our plebes, we got Jalen Acevedo that's going with the twos, you know, and he's in there and he's blocking Landon Robinson, you know, and he's having to grow up pretty quick. And it's big for just everyone in general for their depth to be able to have that. But yeah, I mean, guys, like you said, like Hoke, and he's done a really good job. He's a smart kid that can play multiple positions. Once again, Grayson, man, really coming along, and I give him a hard time every day, but he's really coming along. And then Caden Hooper, man, been really happy with his progress.